Kara. I'm here to do my March TBR, and I'm going to do this a little bit differently than I normally do it every month. I'm going to talk about all the review books I'm going to read or have to read for various NetGalley and Edelweiss and blog tours and stuff. And then I'm going to show you like 8 books that I would love to get to, and I am going to utilize a lovely mug that I got from my fairy loot, which is the fairy tale themed. So whenever I finish all my review books, I'm just going to pick out of this cup, which has about 6 books in it. March tends to be a super good reading month for me. We will see if the weather cooperates, because hopefully it will start getting nice and I can go outside and bike ride a little bit more. But yeah, so that's the plan. So the first book that I'm going to read that I'm in the middle of reading is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo, and this comes out the beginning of March. I did get a copy of this from NetGalley, but my friend is loaning me her physical copy. I love it so far. It is such a fast-paced fantasy novel. I have not read a whole lot of mermaid books like in my life, but this book is like really capturing my attention. The way that it was pitched to me is that Ariel has to kill Eric and Eric has to kill Ariel. I have a Funko on the way to me, so I'm going to do some very, very cute Funko pictures with this when I get it. But yeah, so far I'm about 114 pages in, and I am really enjoying it. If you saw my non-spoiler review of the Siren Queen, when they talked about the Siren Court, I wanted more like info and I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and this book is definitely giving me that, so I'm really excited and I hope to finish this soon. New copy from Entangled Teen, and it is the sequel to Proof of Lies, and it's called Lies That Bind. Last month, and it basically follows this girl named Anastasia Phoenix, and she basically has had a very, very difficult existence growing up. Her parents were killed, and then suddenly her sister goes missing, and the whole book was an adventure to try to get her sister back. But the end of the book revealed some unexpected mysteries that will propel her into book 2. I'm really excited for book 2, and I'm really excited to go back to these characters because they were so much fun to be around. And the last book was set in Italy, so I wonder if this book's going to be in Italy again or go to a different location. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm very excited to read it. And I will, of course, report back with a review later in the month. Linked. So I did get approved for a NetGalley of More Than We Can Tell by Bridget Kimmerer, which is the second book in her companion series, but I need to read Letters to the Lost first. And I did this is a copy I got from the library, and for some reason the copy that I got set from NetGalley like doesn't work with any of my devices, so I put a hold on it at the library and I'm going to get that, but I've told that you do have to read these in order because it's a companion series. And I know that it's a little bit of like a darker contemporary, which I always really like, so I'm going to read Letters to the Lost, and then I'm going to read More Than You Can Tell. Spoiler, I don't want to read the summary for More Than You Can Tell in case it spoils the first book. I doubt that it would, but I'm really excited. And I've been trying to read more contemporary books during the actual year, so I'm actually doing pretty good. I don't think I read any last month, but that's okay. But yes, I'm really excited to dive into this and give you guys my thoughts, and I'll probably do a mashup review of both of these towards the end of the month as well. Is a preemptive book because I need to read Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. So I would like to read Daughter of the Burning City. I normally like to read books in publication order, even if they don't have anything to do with each other. And I did get this book signed from me at BookCon last year. And and I really don't know why I didn't read this over the summer. I really wanted to, but I've heard very good things about it. So yeah, hopefully I like this. And then next month I'll get to read Ace of Shades. Yeah, and I love witch novels, and I really have been craving them. I'm getting to the tail end of Buffy, and if you have seen Buffy, you know how witchcraft is important in the last couple of episodes, so I'm really excited to dive into this book as well. Another book is another book that I got from NetGalley, but had the same problem with my copy. So a friend of mine had an arc of After the Shot Drops by Randy Ribby. And this is another book that goes along with the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, which also To Kill a Kingdom does too, because To Kill a Kingdom is a book set at sea. And this is a book about sports. And this is, I'll just read you guys the back because it's kind of short. It says, gripping told from Nazir and Bunny's alternative perspectives. After the Shot Drops tells the story of 2 teen boys from a tough inner city neighborhood and how their lives change when one of them is given a basketball scholarship to an elite private school. It's high stakes, gut wrenching, and tailored by the power of friendship, the responsibilities of great talent, and the importance of compassion. So yeah, I really hope I like this. I haven't read a sports book in a while, but yeah, it just sounds really good, and I like the diversity focus of this as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this. And then that is kind of where all of my review copies end, or stuff that I like have to read. And I have a lot of books. What I've been trying to do is, because I'm going to BEA and BookCon this year. This is the first year I'm ever going to BEA, so I'm trying to read all of the physical books on my shelf so I actually have room. But so most of these are coming from that, and this is when I'm going to start utilizing my TBR jar, just because I really love the surprise elements of it. So the first book I'm going to read was not planned this month, but I literally went to A Heart of Iron Sign by Ashley Poston yesterday, and this book sounds amazing. Hearing her talk about it, it was like so incredible. It's an Anastasia retelling in space, and if you know anything about me, I love Anastasia. It's probably, I know she's not a Disney princess, but in my heart she is, so I love Anastasia. I saw the musical, I really enjoyed it. The plot was okay, but the technical elements were spectacular. If you're like a theater geek like me and love tech stuff, I think the show is really good. But yeah, I've heard so many good things about this. Oh, I'm so excited to dive into this, and this actually really broke my TBR plans, because I was not planning on read this month, but it just has to happen. And then the next couple of books are just books that, the Diabolic, by S.J. Kincaid was actually, I got this from Book, Comic-Con. It was like a paperback that I got for free. And it was, I put The Glass Bear onto my keep shelf, so this is the book that I pulled off of it, and I know it's like another science fiction story, and I've heard good things about it, so hopefully I will get to read this month, but it might wind up being next month, just because I don't like to read science fiction too close together, and Heart of Iron is definitely science fiction. Another book that I'm definitely going to read this month is going to be The Dragonair by Cinda Williams Chima. And this is the third book in the Air series, and this is the last book I've read in this series, and I do remember this book, but I don't remember much about it. And I know the lead character is Jason, and I don't have much of a memory, so this might be a book I really go in kind of blind and not knowing the ending. I did know the end of The Wizard Era, but I can't recall the end of this book, so that will be intriguing. And the next book I'm going to read is my British copy of The Hazelwood by Melissa Alpert. This cover is so pretty. I love this bookmark too, and this is probably, whether I love the book or not, it's definitely going to be kept because it's just so pretty. And I don't know if this is a series, so I will have to check that out, but this cover is just so pretty. It really has to stay in my collection. And then the next book is, I've been trying to read more middle grade throughout the months. So this is a March book that comes out in March, and it's called The Mad Wolf's Daughter by Dana Magris. I got this at New York City Comic Con, and it's just like a medieval adventure. And I'll read you guys the back because it's kind of short. Dressed to Shelter's life on a remote Scottish headland is shattered when invading knights capture her family, her father, the Mad Wolf of the North, and her beloved brothers who make up his fearsome warband, leaving Dresd alone. She's the only one who can save them from the castle prison before they hang. So she sets off on a wild rescue attempt to taking a wounded knife as her captive for trade of her family's freedom. That sounds really good, and it's also really short. It's like just under 300 pages, but yeah, I'm excited to read that. And this is also going along with my plan to read larger books, and I did want to tackle on Serafina by Rachel Hartman. I do have an arc of Tess of the Road, but I need to read Serafina and Shadow Scale. So yeah, I definitely want to read this, and I haven't read a lot of dragon books in my life, but I would definitely love to dive into this as well. So hopefully I like it, and hopefully I'll give you guys my thoughts. But it is, let's see, it's like just 500 pages, which is kind of massive, so hopefully I like this as well. And the next book I'm going to read, hopefully, is a historical fiction book. It's called Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killen. This also comes out in March, and again, the summary is kind of short. Sarah is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and Jewish. She's also a spy, and she's about to infiltrate an elite boarding school for the Nazi general's daughter. She's already served kill stints, fleeing the police, and her mother's doing it, but can she make it out of Rotson's Dance Academy alive? I have not read a whole lot of historical fiction, but this sounds so interesting, and it's also it's like just about 400 pages. But this sounds so cool. I do love the Holocaust. The books kind of make me a little bit emotional, but I'm sure I will like this. It sounds like it has like a thriller vibe too, so hopefully I like it. And the last two books are books that, one book I got from BookCon last year. And this is another middle grade, but it's Lumberjane's Unicron Power, and this is basically a novelization of some of the trades of the Lumberjanes comics, and it's really short. I think I can probably finish this in like a day if I really wanted to, but I definitely want to read this and then see if the second one's coming out so I can put that on my TBR list or my library loan list. And then the last physical book that I hope to read this month is The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross. This is another witchcraft novel, and it came out from Harper Teen in February, and I just did not get to it this month. So these are all the physical books I hope to read or read. And then my 2 audiobooks I hope to tackle this month is that I started listening to Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I definitely want to finish that. I'm going to the last book signing with a couple of my friends in the middle of the month, and I would love to have finished that book before that event and then maybe even read it at the end of this month because I do not want to be spoiled for that book. It sounds so incredible. And then I want to listen to the Second Circle of Magic book, which is Trisha's book. And then I don't know what I'm going to listen to. I have a lot of audiobooks on my queue that I bought and stuff. So those are a couple of the audiobooks. But yeah, so those are the audiobooks I want to read. Much success with my short story anthology collection, but I picked this up a while ago from Quirk Books, and it's called Princesses Behaving Badly, Real Stories from History Without the Fairy Tale Happy Endings, and I'm just going to read you the back of it. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful princess who wasn't afraid to cheat, deceive, seduce, or murder anyone who got in her way. And it's just a story of like real life women, and the way that it's broken up is it's broken up into, it's like really, really short. It's like you have the warriors, you have the usurpers, you have warriors, princesses who fought their own battles, usurpers, princesses who grabbed power in a man's world, schemers, princesses who plotted and planned, survivors, princesses who made controversial or questionable choices, partiers, princesses who loved to live it up, bluesies, princesses notorious for their sexual exploits, and mad women, princesses who were likely mad or close to it. And the reason I'm really excited for this one is that like they're really, really short. Like some of these are like not like some of these are like 5 pages. So what I think I'm gonna do is between every book I read, or maybe like every 2 books, I'm gonna read like a section. So as long as I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books this month, I can definitely finish this. And it seems super, super short. So I'm actually really excited to read this. But those are all the books that I hope to read this month. Again, there's no way I will read all these books. I do have a fighting chance because March is actually a pretty long month. But yeah, so those are all the books I hope to read in the month of March. And I hope you guys will be checking out my reviews and my other stuff along the way. And I'll talk to you guys later.